Hey everyone! Welcome to the very first episode of Wonder Egg Retrospective, the show where I take a look back on every episode of Wonder Egg Priority, breaking them down, analyzing each, and giving my own thoughts about it all, right back to you. So, originally I was going to review the first three episodes, The Domain of Children, The Terms of Friendship, and A Bare Knife. But I don't think the 3 episode rule applies to Wonder Egg, since I think it sets itself up just fine with episode 1, and builds upon itself in episode 2. Episode 3 feels a lot more like really good leftovers from a restaurant that you left in the fridge overnight. Now, not to say that it's a bad episode, but that Wonder Egg doesn't need the 3 episode rule for itself. I think it sets itself up just fine with just episode 1, and episode 2 is the dessert that simply adds to the amazing flavor. So enough waiting around. Let's get to cracking our first egg, shall we? But before we can even begin, let's discuss one topic at hand, the 3 episode rule. This is a rule anime fandom has created in which it states, in 3 episodes or less, a show and its premise should be able to keep the viewer invested for the rest of the ride or whatever the series has for them. But should it really take just 3 episodes to do that? In my opinion, at least. To allow a viewing experience to be decided by the 3rd episode makes sense for someone that doesn't really watch television or doesn't have enough time for it. But it's also extremely limiting, especially when you can never tell what the show has planned for you at the end of it. What if there's a tonal shift that happens later on, or development that you really wanted to see? Or what if that same thing I just talked about happens literally in episode 4, but you decided to stop because that's what you were told to do? I've seen other discussions about this and even other opinions about this, and I'm not alone in this idea. Some people take 5 or 6 episodes to truly like it, or maybe just even the first, or hell, maybe they watch the entire series just to see why someone else would like it, or maybe why they would like it. So here's some of my own experiences where I never needed the rule. Gurren Lagann is possibly my oldest, because I remember the beginning of the first episode making me so excited to see what would happen, to see this amazing space opera just take place before me. And the rest of the episode, I was still very much excited. I was seeing the past before this event even started. I was going to see how we got from this to this. I think my most modern example would be the first episode of My Dress Up Darling. I got so invested in seeing Gojo finally be validated for his passions and hobby, to not hide that passion from others and keep him to himself. Because of someone like Marin, he was able to warm up to others, to be told that his talent can be used to help others, not just to help serve a single goal that may not even be fulfilled at the end. I think what really popularized this rule was Madoka Magica and how the 3rd episode subverted the expectations of the magical girl genre. But that was that show, that was Madoka. Some shows can do something different with the 3rd episode, or maybe have already settled with their premise and their format. I feel like as if Madoka had some sort of butterfly effect with its audience because of its 3rd episode. They expect every other series' 3rd episode to do the same, or to have like something that keeps them going. It's why we have those memes that go, oh don't worry, One Piece gets better after 700 episodes. Oh don't worry, if you don't like Dragon Ball, then you can just watch Dragon Ball Z and see if you still like it. You know, those type of memes. But does this rule even still stand? How about we see? How about we see if this still stands by tackling... I feel like the beginning of Wonder Egg Priority is one of my favorite cold openings in all of media. In only about 3 scenes, we already know a lot about Ai. She values a life that is seemingly lost, and she seems to be out of touch with the outside world. But also certain aspects of her life, she's been pushing away by her own terms. But she was also given a call to action of sorts by the Firefly, an egg that doesn't crack. But even Ai questions if she can, she could, or even if she should. And this world is just as full of life as she is. Whether it be Ai's house, the Japanese suburbs, or even just background audio and such. Almost feels like a documentary, doesn't it? Well, that was sort of the intention. When Shin Wakabayashi was handed the script by Shinji Nojima, paraphrasing from the February interview about Wonder Egg, Nojima supposedly said this: "I want you to make a documentary about a group of girls in their youth." And this first few scenes truly do feel like them. It doesn't feel like I'm watching a series. It feels like I'm just watching a girl live her life and her just going through the motions. Her having her inside thoughts, maybe having some sort of brain radio as she's thinking of these thoughts. It's never like, it never feels like a series. It just feels like I'm peering into the eyes of someone else. But yet, as these tranquil moments take place, they as easily come to a close, slowly revealing the second face of this show. As soon as she closes the door to what she should see is a typical Japanese suburb at midnight, but she's only greeted with something she hasn't in a while: her school. But yet, something's off. No one has a face or even says anything, and even when she does see students, their faces are censored, and almost immediately, eyes almost essentially reliving things she's experienced at school. Hell, even going to the bathroom stalls are like almost second nature to her. But even in slight tranquility, it doesn't last. So out comes Kurumi, our first, and by what it seems to be a wide margin, the most popular egg girl of the entire series, who has seemingly been through this before, saying lines like, "Oh, why did you have to break the egg in the bathroom? Oh, your wounds heal, but not mine." And stuff like, "Oh, all we have to do is wait for the bell to ring, and then it'll all be over. For you, this is a dream, but to me, it's reality." You're almost invested on what her first experience was like. But yet, you're also intrigued on, why is this girl coming out of an egg? Is this a dream? Is this truly reality? What exactly is this? Is this meant to be something I can truly understand? Something I can truly see? But before we even have time to think about that, another girl with a censored face appears, wielding an axe, and raises her arm. This singular shot, was the moment that solidified the show's true other face, that showed what exactly lied under the surface of the posters, the trailers. This singular shot showed it all. I don't really get to say that a lot about many shows that I watch. To say that a singular shot can redefine everything that you've been watching. I really don't. So, after an honestly fun yet thrilling chase from the gremlins that are the Xenoevils, once again, calmness, and a more better understanding of this world. Egg girls are the name of the games of these Xenos, but not the bearers of the eggs themselves. And for what it seems to be, an end to the chaos. I and Kurumi just have a talk about their lives and what exactly it means to have connections with others. Especially the idea of friends and such. Having a fake type or even a best friend. Hell, even the mention of best friends or even just friends in general gets a melancholy expression from Ai, as if she almost remembers what this is like. And where Kurumi runs from her killers, Ai decides to stay behind. As she says it. In only 11 minutes, we've seen almost every side of Ai. But now what makes her tick? Her reason for even doing this, for even breaking the egg. Sure, she may say she had no reason to, but we all know that's a lie. For when she arrives at the rooftop to see a bouquet set of white and pink flowers, she's revealed the statue of a familiar face. Sometimes I forget how important something like compassion is to all of us. Even the support of one person telling you that you matter is enough to keep you going as one. And from what it seems, Ai Oto knows this feeling the most. Through the meeting of Koito Nagase, her life was validated for once by someone of her age. To not be easily judged for her appearance, to be told her eyes are pretty, beautiful even, that she shouldn't hide them. To be given the slightest form of compassion and or affection, it's enough to keep Ai going. Even the simple declaration of, let's be friends, best friends, is able to break the wall Ai has put up for others, to make her smile, to truly make her happy. But as easily as that happiness stays, it so as easily leaves, as not that much later, Koito would take her own life, falling off the roof of the school. I'm not going to show the footage here, as I have no intention of bringing back harsh memories for some of my viewers. But according to Ai, it's her fault. She betrayed Koito. So perhaps, maybe to grieve will make things better. To condone for her sins. And from what it seems, it does. The statue cries. The compassion Koito gave to Ai gives it back, making the statue cry. That simple tear that flows into Ai's mouth acts as a sign. Maybe, just maybe, Koito could return. Through the tear of Koito's statue and the smile of Kurumi, slowly but surely, the drive for Ai to move forward arises. But when the mysterious girl with the censored face finds itself nearing Kurumi, that drive reaches its peak and finally begins to overflow. I think it was this scene that solidified it all, that made Wonder Egg priority, Wonder Egg priority. It wasn't going to be some dark, tragic tale about life and loss. It wasn't going to be an art house series about cute girls doing cute things. Wonder Egg priority was going to be Wonder Egg priority. Nothing more, nothing less, no one else but its own. Moving forward can take many forms, whether it be simply going out more, cleaning your room, or even deciding to attend therapy to better yourself as a person. These changes can make someone keep going as a person, to see the light at the end of the tunnel. For Ai Oto, it was jumping into unknown territories, to no longer stand in the sidelines, to take initiative saving someone else as Koito did to her. And she did this with goddamn flying colors. She made quite the impression, don't you think? But although she can save Kurumi, she couldn't bring her back with her. So, yeah, that was interesting. Quite the dream, wasn't it? That was quite a sight for eyes. Thank God it was just a oh my god. Never mind. oh wow. Oh god. Someone get her some ice. So I guess we can call this a setting of reality. These dreams may be dreams, but these consequences are anything but. As Kurumi said beforehand, it's the cost of a free gift, ain't it? But even after spending a night at the hospital, in most likely critical condition, mind you, Ai manages to get up and keep going, wallet in tow, with the intention of going back to the abandoned strip mall and entering the garden of Aka and Uraaka, the voices of that firefly from earlier. And in the same garden appears another girl at the gachapon machine, with a suitcase of Wonder Eggs in tow. The two meet locking eyes, sparking the journey of one Ai Oto. Whew! Oh, well. That was quite the journey, wasn't it? In only one episode, Wonder Egg was able to set its main player, the mission at hand, and the stakes that lie with it. Something that apparently the 3-episode rule must apply to. But yet, like clockwork, Wonder Egg is able to apply said 3-episode rule, but in only 3 acts. The Domain of Children is an excellent starter to this series, and is one of my personal favorite episodes. But you read the title, didn't you? We got one more episode to go, so buckle up, bucko! If episode 1 was the appetizer to the series, then episode 2 is the entree that's essentially the same thing, but yet it's distinct enough to be its own thing altogether. I swear to God that analogy is gonna make sense soon. Just trust me. So the opening is essentially a simple girl meets girl scenario. The bubbly Ioto and the cold and stoic Neru Aonuma. And this is supposed to be, a cute scene, they get together easily, stuff like that. But nah, it is weirdly off tone. Neru is cold and distant, but extremely cold and distant, not even replying to what she says, not even a simple, oh, I don't really care about that type deal. Like wow. Like wow. Oh wow. Whereas Ai is full of energy and makes multiple attempts to get to know her, to Neru, it's nothing. It's just white noise to her. To Ai, to buy the eggs and such is simply an ends to a goal. But to Neru, she's able to microanalyze why Ai truly gets the eggs, to help herself, to improve the version of herself that she doesn't like now, the one that stayed in the sidelines and did absolutely nothing, before she could not prevent what would happen next. And to be honest, she's not wrong to an extent. Later on, Ai is extremely hesitant to crack her own egg, although she had the simple intention of saving other girls to get Koito back. But yet, she got the egg. She went to bed and went to her dream world, but doesn't decide to, actually use the egg? That sounds like someone that's not really wanting to do this. They thought it would be simple as, oh, I just have to wait for the bell to ring, and then I can crack the egg, and then it'll all be over. Simple as that. But, nah, not really. It's implied that Ai no longer wants to be the cause of someone else's death. So maybe the Wonder Eggs can be some form of therapy to her, even if she has to go just one at a time. But Neru? Nah, she says she loves herself. It's for her little sister, even if she let her die, but honestly that's a whole discussion onto itself. But, Neru's just doing it because she does it. Nothing more, nothing less. At the least. At least I hope that's what it is. But the point is, if Ai is the sun, then Neru is the cold, distant moon that doesn't say anything and only comes out at night. Suichiro Sawaki. This... You know what? He doesn't deserve to even be called a swear. Not even a mention in this video. But you know what? He'll come in later on in the series. Trust me. And when I do mention him, it is not going to be with good intentions. So instead of talking about him, let's talk about some of the great characterization in this episode. If episode 1 had made you think that Ai had completed her arc of being the reluctant hero character, well, too bad. This is a 14-year-old, and 14-year-olds are extremely hard to work with, and indecisive, and picky. Trust me, I should know. She is still very much in that simple one mind set where she's like, get Koito back as fast as possible, and just help the egg girls as fast as possible. But is it really that easy? Hell, she even has dialogue that makes her go, oh, if I just wait for the bell to ring, then everything will be fine. Besides, they don't come after me. Yeah, if only that was that easy. But that egg needs to break. Ai needs to take the bandage off and get right to work with her next egg girl, Minami Suzuhara. And after a fun, comical chase scene with the Sinos, Ai is able to give Minami something she was never truly given. An outlet. A way to get her feelings out on a plate through everything she's been through. Since throughout most of her, well, tween-age life, she's kind of been suffering, spending early days and late nights at her school's gym just to satisfy her gymnastics teacher, who makes her basically go through the exact same level of essentially abuse. It's something I will not make fun of on this channel because I know that there are people that go through this, and it is not a good sight to see it, both visually and physically. But that should be it, right? She got the egg girl squealing to get out of a plate, and she should be poofing in only a couple seconds, right? Nah, that would make it too easy.
囚われの乙女を解き放つにはワンダーキラーを倒せなきゃね。
何それ、どういうこと？
名前があった方が分かりやすいかと思ってね。
生き残ればいいだけじゃないの？
逃げてるだけで物事が解決するわけないじゃないか。立ち向かえよ、若者。
And now we are introduced to our actual big boss, the Wonder Killer, a physical personification of an egg girl's trauma. And what I find interesting is how certain egg girls react to said trauma. With Kurumi, she actually tried to take a stand, even if it is extremely short-lived. But with Minami, she gets submissive, she gets scared and frantic due to the physical abuse she took. And she doesn't want to go through it again, even though she thought she escaped it for a moment. And Ai does try to help. She tries to save her, but Ai is quite literally given a fistful of reality. And it's not a really good fistful of reality. I think what makes this episode its own special unique thing is possibly the most staring move of all, subverting the perfect girl archetype in Koito Nagase. Maybe she wasn't that good of a person. She made an extremely uncomfortable Ai record herself getting bullied, and for almost a moment, you almost think to yourself, wait, she made her record this? Why not just report it to a teacher? Why need visual evidence? It really makes you think more about Koito as a person, and it shows on Ai. That guilt for not being able to stand up for her, to not be left out, it shows, and she is constantly apologizing for it. And hell, even the Akas drive in this weakness to her. She just stands in the sidelines and does nothing. She just allowed the Wonder Killer to take Minami just like that, and she didn't even try that hard. All she did was like have one swing and that was it. And then it hits her. I can no longer stop not doing anything. She can't be in the sidelines anymore. She declares she'll have a change and prepares to fight. So after this very big declaration, does she, move with it? Well, yeah, she does. Although she is still very much physically inept and is still visually and physically scared, but she forces herself to keep going, even when she's bashed around the room, flung from door to door, from wall to wall. She still keeps going. She tells Minami she won't leave her alone. She will save her. She will be given someone to truly love. She will no longer be abused by someone who thinks that they have the upper hand just because they're older than her. And just like that, she swings the goddamn mace at the killer, giving Minami true release. And for Minami, a sense of melancholy. Maybe if she was still alive, they could have met. They could have been friends. They could have gone out and just did things together. All she can say is for Ai to not forget her, to think about her from time to time. And just like that, she's gone. And this fight in general is just goddamn spectacular. Animation-wise, thematically, and narratively. Thematically, because this is the turning point for Ai beginning to better herself. And it also gives the Egg Girls the peace and release that they really never got for themselves. But narratively, it concludes the two-parter reluctant hero arc Ai had. At first, she was simply doing this just to get Koito back as quick as possible. But now, she's having an understanding that she was never alone in this type of treatment by others. She was never alone with this. There were others like her that suffered the same, whether it be through kids her age or even full-fledged adults. Hell, if we're really reaching, this can also show that, for Ai, not all adults have good intentions for kids their age. Sawaki! So through this, I can become stronger not only physically, but also mentally. She can use these experiences to help others around her. And trust me, she does. I don't think it would be an understatement to say that when we first meet Neiru, she's going through a phase of self-destruction. You know, buying multiple eggs for multiple nights, or hell, maybe even multiple eggs for one night, and constantly going to the ICU with no regard for her own self-recovery or self-preservation. Or maybe she didn't even take the consideration of others around her for the sake of her own well-being. And she's also in a state of personal recluse, as when she first meets Ai, she literally gives the idea of them buying eggs on different days each, so that way, they never have to meet each other. But Ai, being the sunflower that she is, actually tries to spread some light in her life. She goes to Neiru's ICU rooms and jokes with her, saying that because she got greedy, she's in the ICU. Okay, Oto, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But, not only that, she bought an egg for her. One egg, and that was it. And even says that she wants to be friends. And well, they try in the rooftop scene. And through implications, Neiru's never really had a friend. Or at least one that we don't know of. Or any that we know of at that point. As she asks what they would do as friends, and I just, tries to think of the first thing that comes to her head. And through Ai's outgoingness, through this bubbly personality and such, Neiru actually takes appreciation for the smaller things, like the smell of simple juice. And through this, she smiles. Someone's actually talking to her, someone's actually wanting to know her, someone is caring for her, and that makes her happy. On that day, Ai Oto made a new friend, a girl by the name of Neiru Aonuma. And Neiru Aonuma no longer has another partnership, but her first actual friendship with a girl named Ai Oto. I don't think I need to say this, but I will. Friends are something that we all need. Even just one is enough to make us want to open up more and to allow ourselves to improve. To simply make us happy. Wonder Egg's special for that. It's not trying to be a pessimistic, depressing story about the human condition or how we, fall into the system. It's not trying to be art house about these themes and, make everything ambiguous as possible. At least, not at this point, I think. It simply gives us hope and a sense of happiness. For a better tomorrow, the next day after tomorrow, or hell, maybe even today. So, in just 2 episodes, Wonder Egg Priority has shown us all the cards they want to show us for the journey ahead. It's a wonderful animation, interesting and experimental storytelling, and characters that have so much to show and give us. It's wonder why this show even took off in the first place, both visually and narratively. And the most interesting part is, it's only taken us 2 episodes to even get to this point. Yes, I'm being dead serious. In only 2 episodes, we've gone all the important bits out of the table and set all around the room. Looks like what I said in the prologue actually has some relevance. I finally feel vindicated! But, of course, there is still a lot to be seen in the future. And honestly, I can't wait to cover it with you all. Next time when we continue this journey, we'll be meeting a girl who bears 2 blades, and another who looks for a place where she can belong, and for those who will accept her for who she is. Until then, this has been Wonder Egg Retrospective, and I'll see you all next time. Okay, so the thing is, I'm actually stuck in a dream world myself, and I don't have like a bell or an indicator to show when I'll be out. Please send help. I don't know how long I've been here for. Please send help.